I really feel like Sophia brought this to us in a very beautiful, graceful way, that we are moving in this dance through the sacred dreamer and the graceful warrior, and being seen in our power, and finding our truth and our gratitude with the things in our life. Those things I still use. You know, it almost was a way to reframe how I live my life, and how I build my business, and how I treat my patients, and how I do everything, how I enter into partnerships, how I treat myself. That was a really big thing too, was accepting my own truth in that. And so it was a really beautiful experience to go through all of these cycles, to be held in that, to see other women in that too, and to just share and just be completely raw and authentic, because within that safe container, you truly could be. And so, yes, Temple Body Arts was an extremely transformative experience. It was an initiation into the feminine mysteries. And I learned so much about myself, and how I can bring those principles, I can bring that understanding of this deep feminine wisdom that comes from my womb space, that comes from me. It comes from within and outwards. And I really feel like you anchored that in Sophia by being the living example of that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Wow. Thank you. Yeah. And even just hearing you speak right now, Lynn, I mean, you've birthed a podcast, you've stepped into yourself, you know, as a leader and speaker. And yeah, I'd love for you just to share, like, what are some of the tangible things that have shifted in your life after having these principles and these ways of living and being in your own body?
Yeah, such a good question. Well, I first want to start with being able to really step in my power. You know, some of us can say that that's a very abstract feeling, but some of us can say it's a very practical feeling. And I feel like for me, it's both, right? I really stepped into my medicine woman. I really stepped into the doctor, into the artist, into the speaker, because this was a space for me to actually dive into that. What does that really mean for me? How do I share my message? How do I share my mission? And, you know, being in that safe container, that womb space of just experimenting and creating and sharing myself with other sisters, it was that space for me to be able to bloom. And now that I'm here and creating my podcast, speaking with other leaders and artists and visionaries about their path, that lights me up, because I also have been through that. I'm always going through that. And I believe that it's so important right now for everyone to tell their stories. And I feel that refinement happened while I was in Temple Body Arts.